iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.
You know you're a Tony nominee when you're screaming at the top of your lungs and then you can't find the words to properly describe why you're screaming. Ta-da.
It is an overwhelming honor to be here. Thank you so much to the American Theater Wing, to everybody who's helped me get here. I mean, it takes a village. It definitely takes a village, and I just hope I'm making my folks proud. That's all. Okay, I'm going to tell you a secret. I was sleeping when the Tony noms came out because I was like, the last thing I wanted was for maybe the lack of any type of like nomination to take away from the beautiful feeling that is just creating this beautiful thing and getting to share it with the community. So I woke up to like people calling me and they were like, Malia, and I'm like good morning. And so finding out that not only did we get 13 nominations, but I was one of them was ridiculous and surreal and beautiful. And it is all, I mean, this moment is, little me is just so happy to be here amongst all these inspirational men and women and people, and it's a dream come true.
It feels great. I'm excited for all of our creatives and my fellow cast members. I'm excited for Alicia and like that her show is being so well received, I think deservedly so. And I'm excited for you all to hopefully get the opportunity to see it for years and years to come. Our show, the message of our show for me is basically that it takes a village. And so I think, it's such a community-oriented show. Ours is such a community-oriented business that it's just been great to share all of this excitement celebrating our art and our industry with everybody here.
It feels amazing. I have been dreaming about this moment for probably 40 years, maybe a little longer than that. And to be in this show, in this season, with so much woman-powered musicals and plays being done, I mean, it's everything. It's everything. I'm so grateful. It was amazing. One of our stage managers a couple of our stage managers was kind enough to put together a Zoom for anybody in the company so we could all be together and watch. And they did a screen share. So I saw it with my company in my head rag and my pajamas. And it was fantastic. I'm over the moon. I'm over the moon for Malia Joy Moon, mostly, and the fantastic Shoshana Bean, of course. And, this story about women and women helping women and protecting women, it resonates so much, even with men, because they recognize the women that protected them as young men. And it means the world that the three of us were nominated for this.
It feels amazing. I mean, I'm originally from New York City, so to be honored with something that came from me and through my observations as a child and a teenager, it just feels wonderful. It's a celebration, and we're seeing each other and we're saying congratulations, and there's so much love there. There was always so much love, but for us to be here now just feels beautiful.
I feel fantastic. I feel like this is what we've been working towards. And when Alicia Keys says to you, like, we're going to make a show, it's going to go to Broadway, it's going to get nominated for all these awards, you believe her. Watching it on TV, I wasn't sure if I wanted to watch it. My wife was like, you have to watch it, don't be ridiculous. And then we spent the next half hour just screaming our heads off, not just because of what it meant for our show, but for what it meant for my friends, for Sho and Malia and Brandon and Keisha and Michael and Camille. And I could go through every single person in the show, but everybody who got nominated is somebody who brings a unique, special gift to this. They're at the top of their game, and they're wonderful, wonderful people. So we're happy for what it means for our careers and all that stuff. But for these people, I could not be more proud.
The show is such a team effort between the three of us, and also just the legacy of Merrily itself, to have it be recognized and have people just be loving the show. It means so much to all of us. Yeah, I kind of can't, I decided to make this year as hard as I could, so I decided to have a baby, get married, and do a run of a Broadway show. Challenge accepted. We say as women we can do everything, so I'm just putting that to the test this year for sure, and we'll be very pregnant in another 6 weeks, so we'll see what I'm going to wear.
It's lovely. Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, I am really, really proud of the show and the work we all do in it. So it's nice to, and we're coming to the end of the run as well. So it's just a really nice way to celebrate sort of the end of it all. Oh man, I would share everything with them if I could. I truly I love them so much. We have a kind of sickening amount of fun doing the show still. I mean, I think that's one of the things that translates to audiences. And yeah, it's going to be, I mean, the show is going to be, I feel like I have to offer a preemptive apology to anyone seeing the show in the last month, because we're just going to be crying, through the whole thing, probably. I think I'll probably keep it together pretty well until the last week, and then it's going to be crazy. So yeah, this is a very nice, and it's also, there's a ton of events and stuff that goes with doing the Tony, so it's nice to go to those knowing Lindsay and Jonathan are going to be there as well.
Can you imagine a girl from Hackney now standing here, how did this happen? There's a line in the show, how did I get to be here? It was unbelievable. It's pinched me. I'm so grateful. I know it takes an enormous team to put these things together, so I'm standing here with my badge, which I'll treasure. But the nomination is always about a collaboration. My cast is incredible, but look at the work I got Stephen Sondheim and George Firth's work to work with, and I never saw it as a problem. I played Mary when I was they reworked this version that I have made on us in England. They ran away from the press because of this checkered past, and they took a bunch of English actors and they used us in a lab when I was in my early 30s. And so I've lived with this piece in my heart forever, but I also saw the joy, the humanity, the compassion that they brought to the piece when we were working together. So it's just a transference of their energy and their brilliance. I'm deeply honoured and humbled to be here with all that talent around as well. I mean, 24 shows or something in this season. It's I could not believe, I really did not expect it. I was wow. I can't believe how many people in the audience, they text or write or email or post, how they come home and they pick up the phone to a friend. They make it like no other show I know. You're in it, you're watching it, but you're also parallel. You're in all those characters. All the decisions they're making are decisions that once upon a time we might have made or will make or whatever, and it stretches over 20 years. So as I change with it every time I come, since Merrily, when I first did it in London, I've lost my brother, I've lost my mum. I'm a different human being, and it changes. The piece changes with me. How I suddenly will look at the relationships, and so it is a unique thing. And other people, I can't say it myself, but other people are now, saying that Merrily belongs with his greats, along with Sweeney, along with Sunny in the Park with George, and is probably, I think, the most accessible of all his musicals. It speaks to everyone. You don't sit in the audience and you move, laugh, cry, cheer. It just keeps surprising. I love it so much. I'm as in love with it today as I was when I first saw it.
It means everything. It's just, it's so nice to be recognized. It's so nice to feel the community cheering and supporting, and there's so many friends and colleagues that we came up in the business together, and we've grown up in this 10-block radius. It's just amazing. So I'm honored to be included. It feels amazing. The fact that both Amber and I got nominated is a dream, because it just shows that what we're doing, people are seeing and honoring and recognizing, and the fact that there's so many. Shoshana is, I will see her today and I will cry. But Leslie Kritzer Rodriguez, Lindsay Mendez, there's Keisha Lewis. There's just so many amazing people, and it's a dream.
And I keep saying, Joshua, you don't know the order that they're announcing it, so I really was just Joshua Boo. I really was just so happy for him. And then I heard the category, I was oh shit, this is about me now. It's so, Joshua Boo!
My homie, what are you talking about?
The fact that we are both here, this is
together.
Honey,
you know what I'm
this
saying?
is it.
Handle your business.
I love it.
I love you, yo.
Thank you, Joshua.
Congratulations.
Thank you. People keep asking me, like, who are you most excited to see? My friends. I'm so excited to see people who I've been here 10, 12, 15 years with. We're all here. This is the icing on the cake. It's just like to be here with your friends. I tell the story. I met Eden in 2012 when I first moved here. We were both in Broadway Inspirational Voices, and I didn't have enough money to print out the sheet music, so I would bring my computer, and every day in rehearsal it would die, and I'd close the computer and pretend like I just remembered the music, and Eden would just slowly move her sheet music over so I could share with her, and that started our friendship. She's always been caring, compassionate, generous. Like, she didn't even know me. She just saw that my computer died, and she was like, this poor girl. And we would just sing together. That's how we started our friendship, was in 2012. So to be Tony nominated together for Lempicka, it's surreal. It like doesn't make sense, but absolutely makes sense. I'm so happy for her. I'm proud of her. I couldn't ask for a better coworker and colleague.
Well, particularly Lempicka is a show about art making. It's a show about a great artist, and to have the opportunity to have her work, be entrusted with the work of such a sort of phenomenal genius is terrifying. And also exciting when you succeed. To tell a story about artists and about the making of art is such a joy, and about making art in difficult times, in difficult circumstances. And that's what's been the real joy of this. Being nominated for a Tony with Ricardo Hernandez, who I've worked with for 20 years, is such a joy. We've spent so many years together, and it's great to be his collaborator.
I mean, it feels amazing. I am so honored. I'm excited to be here with everybody. It's like, this is my first time, so I'm sort of, just, wow, I can't believe it. Yeah, it hasn't hit me fully yet, I think. I'm like, thank you, but I'm like, wow, I'm a Tony nominee. I can say that. Wow. Oh, it's amazing. My Spamalot family is so excited for me. We closed a couple of weeks ago, but it doesn't matter. Our show lives on and on and on, and I'm sort of carrying our torch now. It's so funny. In all the press, I was like carrying the Grail, and now I'm like, yeah, let's do this. So they're all so excited, and I'm happy to like represent.
Feels beautiful. Feels beautiful to be in the company of so many hardworking artists. I mean, this is the thing that dreams are made of. This is what dreams are made of, and it's amazing. It's a gift. It's a gift, and it's well earned. We've all put so much into these roles, into these shows, and everyone from the top down, from the crew to the directors. It's a beautiful thing. And it's been a dream. I remember the first time I watched the Tonys was the Hamilton season, and it was just like, wow, I want to do that. I want to perform there, and so to know that I'll get to do that with my company is going to be such a beautiful thing, because I take so much pride in them. They inspire me every single day, and I kid you not, like every single time I'm on stage with them, I'm like, they make me want to be better. So, like, yeah, it's a gift.
I didn't hear it. I was asleep, and I cut my phone off because I didn't want to wake up and know whether it happened or not, and I didn't cut it on until afternoon. I was like, I just wanted to wait. I was enjoying the anticipation too much. It was fun. It was like, yo, it's a big day. So I was like that energy of like, ooh, did it happen or didn't it happen? And like, it was fun. And then to cut my phone on and just see, just to see the reaction. My agent was actually calling. I guess he was calling back to back to back, because the moment I cut my phone on and turned it over, so I couldn't see if any messages came in. And the moment I flipped it over, his name was on the screen. So I was like, either he's been calling to console me to console me or to congratulate me. And I could hear in his voice the excitement, so I figured it happened. And we're here. In my prayer the night before, I was just like, God, I don't even want the most. And it ain't about me. So let me just ask for 11 or 12. 11 or 12. Because I knew that if that happened, then many of us would be recognized across the board. And that's what happened, and then my name was included in that. And in addition to that, to have so many friends and peers from other shows and projects attached to it, I have not found the words for that yet. It feels amazing. It feels amazing. It
was surreal. I was stunned. I literally ran around my apartment like 50 times. I couldn't catch my breath. I called my mom. I called my publicist, and I was just like, what is going on? Is this correct? Because it felt like I was dreaming. Oh, my God. I mean, I just feel like they heard us. I feel like they saw our hearts, and they saw the core of our show, and I couldn't do it without Joshua, and I couldn't do it without Brody. I mean, it's taken a long time for these characters to get their recognition. It's taken over, like, what, 60 years, you know? So it's like, it's awesome that Johnny and Pony and Dally get their flowers.
Beyond my wildest dreams. And I think the part that feels the best to me is that so many of my collaborators were also recognized, because I feel like at the heart of this production was collaboration. And I think you feel it when you see it, so I'm over the moon. It feels so good. It feels so good to be in this room, not just with my collaborators, but with this entire larger cohort of theater artists. Especially coming out of COVID, to be able to celebrate in person all together this incredible community. Like, there's so much work happening on Broadway, off Broadway right now that has such a vibrancy. So to be a part of it and be in the community feels so good.
I mean, share it with all of our collaborators, sharing it with all the other artists and creatives and that have also been nominated. I mean, it's like a heavy hit and pull this year, and it's really it's such an honor.
Yeah, it means more to be able to share it with everybody involved in the show. It's just makes it so much sweeter.
It feels incredible. I mean, it's been a partnership. We've been working together for north of a decade now, so it feels full circle.
Yeah, I agree. Totally extraordinary.
Yeah, I feel very grateful that, you know, everyone across disciplines and departments is getting recognition, because it was truly a team effort and an incredible collaboration that I haven't felt before.
Yeah, I would have to say this has been the most incredible collaboration of my entire artistic career. So it's really thrilling to see all the teams nominated.
It's surreal. We've been working on this for almost a decade. So surreal is the word. I mean, it's exciting because we get to celebrate each other, and you know, we're so glad that, you know, so many of our collaborators are also nominated and recognized.
Yeah, we lost one of our creative leaders early on. We survived a pandemic, multiple workshops, and we kept thinking this thing was going to fly apart. Thank God the Iraka group kept us together, and thank God we just stayed the course, and we found Danya, honestly.
Yeah.
I think if all that didn't happen, we wouldn't be here. So that feels really satisfying. It's almost like we're finishing the decathlon now, and we're like kind of having fun, which is a rare thing to feel.
We were just talking about this.
It's so special, like Betsy Adom and Whitney White and Quincy Tyler Bernstein and Amy Ryan. These are people we've all been around and come up with and wanted to work with, have worked with. So it sort of feels like a crazy house party, you know?
Yeah. No, I've been really emotional today, actually, because for that very reason. Like, so many people that I've known for a really long time, you know, for 20 years.
Yeah, Betsy Adom did a bunch of my plays. Gail Rankin. It's just so many special people. I don't even care. I kind of don't even care if I win. I'm just happy to be at the party.
I'm certainly excited to work with her, alongside her on the show. So being nominated is equally exciting.
It seems right. It's sort of, how would we be separate?
We're tag team
here. It's sort of, we're part of a unit, and I think we represent the other parts of our unit, the youngers, you know, the other 2/3 of each of us, and so we're honored to be the representative for that.
Yes, and they're just, as you've seen, they're just tremendously talented. So we're very excited. I certainly am, and I know Marianne is excited to represent what I think is one of the most unique musicals that has ever been on Broadway. Yeah.
And it's the intimacy of it is what I love. That it doesn't come at you with a punch. It comes as an offering, you know, about life, and I love it.
And all the audience gets to experience it, and they are all affected universally by the universality of the love story that we present.
It's really humbling and shocking and wonderful. I feel like I'm living in an alternate reality right now. We worked so hard on it, and it's a little bittersweet because I don't have Ingrid here with me. But I'm carrying her with me, and this nomination really is for both of us and for the whole show. It's been such a collaboration, so I really am honored to be here with Marian and Dorian, representing the whole show, every person who worked on it. It's such an amazing season. So many different kinds of storytelling, so many different kinds of music, and I'm just grateful that we're being recognized because it confirms what we set out to do, which was, you know, just connect with people. that's all we ever want to do. And the fact that we're here means that we're reaching people and, you know, encouraging people to reflect on their lives in a deep way. And it's just nice to have the confirmation that that is happening night after night. It's wonderful.
You know, it never gets old. It really doesn't. I never take it for granted. I try never to, there's no expectation. And especially since our show closed, I really sort of tried to set myself up for not. And so this has just been a beautiful surprise. But the role itself has been so special to me that it just feels like a nice bit of recognition. I just can't imagine it any other way. I mean, we built this thing from scratch together. There was never a day that I wasn't leaning on him or he was catching me, and you know, we fell, we flew. We did it together 100%, and I just I wouldn't want to do it without him. So I'm so grateful we're both here.
It means something because of Kelly and Brian and all the work that everyone put in, Kim Grigsby, the whole cast, Michael and Craig. It's just, we've been rowing this boat a long time. We've been kind of trying to get it here, and we finally did. And so it's moving, it's touching. It feels like a really heartfelt project for us. We really sort of sculpted this thing together. I wrote it for them, knowing that they were going to do it. But once we were in the room, we worked together on how to make it as good, singable, dramatic, satisfying as it could be for them. So we made changes based on, you know, what they were experiencing in the process.
I care so much about the show. I care so much about the subject matter. To be able to marry my passion for directing theater with something I care so much about, and then to be nominated for a Tony, there is no better moment. I mean, it's one thing to be, I mean, you know, to work on something, but to just the experience of being part of this community in this way at this time. Also, it is in 2006 when I directed my first play. I was only the 7th woman to ever direct a play on Broadway. And this season, to have so many women, it is an extraordinary time. It feels like that's what progress looks like. Of course, there's still more to do, but this is a very exciting moment.
Being nominated for The Great Gatsby is a great honor. I love that I get to represent our entire beautiful show, this wonderful world that we created. Okay, I hate admitting this, but it was easy. It was easy because I have an incredible team. I get to design the most beautiful show that I can possibly think of with incredible artisans. So easy.
What's interesting about the show is that it's sort of like had this like ball bouncing in the air along the last year or so. You know, first we were at Bard Fisher Center, and then Chicago Shakespeare Theater, and then Park Avenue Armory this spring, and then we were able to kind of make a quick jump to the St. James Theater. So it's been a very unique path, but also one that I feel like worked really well for this kind of show. So we're just like really excited to be here, and that the show now has this like elongated run at the St. James on Broadway. It's sort of how to approach a musical only in the way that like I would know how to do, which is like through the language of dance, and how that can be kind of the primary delivery of this show. Yet at the same time, it's a show that, you know, has music and song and staging and story all the same.
First of all, it's a miracle to be standing in this room with all of these other people and such an incredible season. It feels amazing. It's not anything that I expected in a million years. You know, I've had a great time. I've done this show for several years. I got to do it in the West End in London for about a year and a half, which was an amazing time. The show also was interrupted by the pandemic when we were doing it in Manchester, England. So the ride on this thing has been so crazy, and so to end up arriving here, and with tremendous admiration and respect for my collaborator, which is Casey Likes every night, who I adore, and without whom I probably wouldn't be standing here. So with all of those things in mind, yeah, I'm just absolutely thrilled. You know, it's an extraordinary thing to kind of come in. One of the things that attracted me to Back to the Future and this part was the amount of love worldwide for this franchise. And so one of the things that I marveled over when I first started doing the role was the amount of love. I walk out in the car, and I walk out with a white wig and the sort of very iconic white hazmat suit, And the amount of love that comes towards me without even me saying a word and having nothing to do with me being Roger Bart and everything to do with Christopher Lloyd and Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis, who created these characters who are just adored. It was just really a question for me to just sort of hopefully not mess it up, so to be polite. But so with all of that, it's been an incredible experience. It's not, it's not a blank canvas. It's something else, and I've had just a blast with it, and I've always loved the movie, so it's very cool to be here and doing this.
Well, it means everything. I've been around the block, and it's my first Tony nomination, and I couldn't be more thrilled that it's with Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club, and this role, which is in 2024, to me, an important role, playing a Jewish character in a time when Nazism was rearing its ugly head, and it's so parallel to some of the things we feel today, that giving voice to this character is very meaningful to me. So I couldn't be more delighted to be recognized by the Tonys. Well, it's a joy to be with the cast. It's kind of like a busman's holiday. Let's go on a field trip and hang out and dress up, and of course they are all so deserving of being here. Bebe Neuwirth, I get to share the stage with her, and she's Broadway royalty. And then Eddie and Gail, I just think, are phenomenal, as well as all the design people who were nominated as well.
I have to take a breath when you ask me that question, because otherwise it's unseemly on camera for an elderly gentleman to burst into tears. But this show is so personal for me because it's a Sarah Gruen, who wrote the novel, wrote a memory story. So it's a memory play that we're doing, a memory musical, I guess. And the guy whose memory it is very much like me. He's a guy who sort of has. He feels like, what's the point? It's everything that I care about is sort of over. I've lost the people that I love, and what do I do now? And when I was asked to adapt this, that had just happened to me. I had just been through a really, really rough period, and I had been widowed after 35 years, and I had no idea how to be an adult. I had no idea how to be an individual person. I was always part of a couple. I didn't know what to do, and because of Water for Elephants, I was able to write a world that I felt I could continue to be part of. So that's why I don't want to make this seem like a sad show, because it's not a sad show, but it's so personal to me, and that's why it means so much to me when you say that you enjoyed it, because you have your whole life ahead of you, and I'm looking back at my life, and yet we can enjoy this story and be moved by this story, which is really a story about family, but the family that you choose, and how great it is to be part of something larger than yourself, as opposed to being an individual, having to make individual choices all the time. I just think that's a mug's game. I like being part of a group. I'm very, very proud to stand in the back and watch Jessica Stone, our director, who's really our field marshal, and she's so smart, and she's so great with the actors, and she's so clever. And she's got a great laugh, she's just somebody you don't mind having lunch with every day. And I think isn't that what we all want to do? We just want to be with people we want to have lunch with. And the Pigpen guys, the 7 guys who wrote all the songs, they're so cool, and they're so talented, and they're so young like you. And Grant Gustin and Izzy McCalla and Paul Nolan and are these this love triangle that's in the show. They're all so good. They don't know how to be false on stage. They can only be true. It's so moving to me that they do it, and it's so lucky that they get to do it over and over and over again. Because tomorrow is going to be a little bit different than tonight, and the next day will be a little bit different from tomorrow. It's what I love about the theater.
Well, we're so happy for the show. Really, the show was such a collaborative experience, and in fact, we were just saying how it's weird to have categories at all, because we really tried to work so fluidly. So it really feels like a great testament to the collaborative work, the fact so many categories did get nominated, and the show itself, the play itself.
Yeah, it feels like such a sort of rewarding feeling, because that's what the show is about, is collaboration and community, and the culmination, the sum of all parts and that's sort of what this feels like.
On and off stage. I mean,
Yeah.
the essence of
The essence of the show.
The story is about that in addition to the process. So,
Yes.
yeah.
It's thrilling, and I mean, I'm thrilled for my own nomination, but the thing I'm most excited about is the Best Musical nomination, because that's the one that everybody has ownership over. You know, it means that our entire army of storytellers did something right. And it's been so thrilling to collaborate. There are so many different storytellers and so many different disciplines that it takes to like mount this thing. So it's been years of working with Rick Ellis, our gorgeous book writer, and Pigpen Theater Company, our amazing composers. And our design team is so crackerjack. Bradley King, David Bengali, Takeshi Kata, David Reynoso, like they're incredible. And Jesse Robb and Shayna Carroll, our choreographers, these are all people that come from so many different lenses. They look through the story through so many different lenses. And then we've got this company that you have acrobats who are singing and singers who are hanging from trapezes, and everyone is like handling puppets. No one knew how to do that on the first day of rehearsal. And so there's a level of humility and grace because everyone's a little bit outside of their lane and just nuts enough to do it. So I'm really proud. I think that we have something that's like more than a musical. It's an event. And you feel joy, and it takes your breath away, and it was a lot to wrangle.
It's the most packed, most competitive, most extraordinary work I've seen, and to be nominated feels just different. It feels different this year. I've been here a few times before, and we tried to do something so outlandish and insane with Here Lies Love. And so to have our show be recognized all these months later, it really shows that they saw how groundbreaking the thing that we...
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.